Incredibly tough challenges, otherworldly enemies and crawling dungeons to explore await us in one of the most anticipated games of this year, Remnant 2. In order to traverse its lands and face its dangers, you will be equipped with a vast range of armors, weapons, special powers and abilities. You will be able to choose between many different archetypes. These are essentially classes that you can equip at any time. Gunslinger, Handler, Challenger, Medic and Hunter will be the initial 5 that at the beginning of the game you can choose from. Well, 4 actually, as one of them, the Gunslinger, will be available only to those who have pre-ordered the game. Disclaimer, however, this only applies for your initial archetype choice. It's been stated multiple times that the Gunslinger is available for everybody to find throughout the game progression, pre-order or not. But being the signature icon of Gunfire Games logo, they probably wanted to gift it as a little extra rewards to those who put faith in them by pre-ordering the game. Hello folks, I am Ocandersis and in this video we will find an answer to the question, should you pre-order for the Gunslinger? First and foremost, I like to put something on the table. In my humble opinion, not many games deserve to be pre-ordered. You can think otherwise, of course, but I personally don't pre-order a game unless I'm confident enough with the product and the developer has somewhat of an established reputation of making games that I like. And these two things, at least for me, have to coexist. For example, I absolutely love the Soulsborne saga. I've been playing those games since the original Dark Souls came out back in 2012, and I pre-ordered every single one of them from Dark Souls 2 up to Elden Ring, and not even once I was disappointed with what I got. Heck, Bloodborne alone made me buy the PS4. Now, next month, From Software is releasing Fires of Rubicon, but despite coming from the same developer, which I know makes games I love, I know absolutely nothing when it comes to the Armored Core saga, so I have not pre-ordered the game, and no trailer whatsoever will make me do it. Although I have to admit, they look pretty damn cool. With that being said, this video is not me telling you if you should pre-order or not Remnant 2. This video is about me putting together what I hope is enough information on their pre-order bonus class in order for you to make the decision for yourself. I'm not talking here about pre-ordering the Ultimate Edition that gives you access to a bunch of extra features. I'm talking about your Standard Edition pre-order, because that's the only difference it offers compared to buying the game after release. I'm going to fully break down its strengths, weaknesses, perks, skills, and possible combination between them that synergize well. So let's just get into it. This guy is your DPS machine, capable of delivering high bursts of damage in a short amount of time to a devastating extent. It's precise and deadly. To all players who enjoy playing high DPS character, who like to stay mobile, prioritize skill over strength, who dodge flawlessly into the enemy's attacks knowing that they're about to deliver punishment in the smallest window of opportunity, this is made for you. The Gunslinger truly shines in mid to long range combat, with all its perks and skills focusing on reload speed, ammo capacity and fire rate. Bear in mind, all of this information are sourced from the material that has been officially released so far, so even if it's pre-release and it might change in the final game, it's supposed to be pretty accurate. Side note, from this point on, to keep this video short, I have to assume that you know how Archetypes works, but don't fret if you don't, cause I got you covered. Just check out my Archetype Explained in 5 Minutes guide and then come back to this one. Like any other archetype, the Gunslinger has access to 5 perks. Its damage perk is Swift Shot. Its damage perk is Swift Shot. Swift Shot. Swift Shot. It's easy, why can't I pronounce it? Swift Shot. Swift Shot. Swift! Its damage perk is Swift Shot. At level 10 will provide an extra 15% fire rate, 20% range damage and 5% critical chance for all firearms. The team perk, Posse Up, will do 2 things. But first, you need to know that in Remnant, all loot is equally shared across all players in the party, but the ammo is not. So, if you're playing together and your friends pick up some ammo that an enemy dropped, he will get the extra ammo for his gun, but you won't. Now, with the type of playstyle that the Gunslinger is focused on, you never want to run dry. To offset that, Posse Up will boost the total amount of ammo looted by any players by an additional 30% per player, splitting the bonus between the team. This means that if a Gunslinger is in your team, not only you will all get 30% more ammo in total, but you won't need to fight for it. You can simply play normally and you will receive some ammo every time someone else does. Quick Hands is the Gunslinger utility perk, awarding you with an extra 10% reload speed. This bonus will go up to 20% if your magazine is empty, really putting the emphasis on having a bullet in your chamber at all times. Sleight of Hand is the relic perk. Once unlocked, every time you use a relic charge, you'll instantly reload your currently equipped firearm and your range damage will be further boosted by 15% for 10 seconds, for a total of 30% if we take into account your passive damage perk. Final and most important of all is the Prime perk, Loaded. When activating any Gunslinger skill, both of your firearms are instantly reloaded and gain infinite ammo for 15 seconds. At the first glance, this might not seem much, but it pairs exceptionally well with the skills we're about to cover. Keep in mind that each archetype gives you access to 3 skills. You can only equip 2 skills at a time though, so you'll have to pick. This applies also later in the game when you gain the ability to multi-class. Running 2 archetypes together, you'll have 6 skills at your disposal, but you'll have to decide which ones you want to use. Luckily though, you can swap them around when out of combat. First on the list is Quick Draw. Shoots up to 6 rounds from a hidden revolver, dealing 93 damage per shot. Now, that's 558 damage in total, but I do believe these 93 damage are based on your archetype level and potentially skills dedicated trait. That's only my speculation here, but I would be very surprised knowing how Remnant works if that was a fixed amount, because you're gonna need the extra power at higher difficulties. What I believe won't make any difference in the damage is the weapon upgrade. As you can see here, the equipped sidearm is not being used for the skill, meaning that the skill itself doesn't seem to interact with your weapon. So no matter what you have equipped, the animation will always pull out a revolver, which is a bit of a missed opportunity if you ask me. This skill can be used in 2 different ways. You can just quickly tap the skill button and your character will fire shots towards all enemies in view within 25 meters. This will auto-aim your shots, dividing them evenly across all available targets. Or, alternatively, you can hold the button and then release it in order to manually aim the shots. And this right there is good game design, because having control not only when but also how your skill delivers damage can potentially turn the tide of a moment in battle. Imagine there is a strong elite enemy that you want to get rid of, but it's surrounded by minions and you want to take it down first because you can weaken the minions by doing so. If this skill only had one fire option, you had to trust RNG in order to deal damage, and we know how that works most of the time in video games. But luckily, that's not the case, because you can free aim those shots right in the face of the big baddie. So, at least on paper, it looks good. It seems to have a 40 to 60 seconds cooldown depending on your expertise trait, which is not too much. Moving to the second skill is Sidewinder. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't particularly like this skill for what it seems to offer. It increases your movement speed and your cycling speed within weapons by 50%. That seems like a big deal, but swapping weapons in Remnant takes a little more than a second, which is not a crazy amount of time to wait that you really want to cut it down. Dodging an enemy attack usually takes more. It also automatically reloads a weapon up to full when you swap to it. And honestly, that's a good part of the skill, because although your prime perk gives you infinite ammo on activation, you'll still need to reload the weapon if the magazine is empty. So being able to swap back and forth finding your weapon always full is huge, but situational. If you're running a weapon with a big magazine, for example, you won't really get that much out of it. I don't think that on its own this skill truly shines, but I can definitely see the right potential with the right build and skill combination. This moves us to the third and final skill, Bulletstorm, and this seems to be the real deal, because it gives you the most benefit of all. It gives all your weapon full automatic fire. This means all your sidearms becomes SMGs, and all of your long arms assault rifles. This alone is incredibly good. I mean, think about pairing it with a slow but incredibly powerful gun, something like a shotgun, and now imagine unloading a full clip of that shotgun in a few seconds. Sounds insane, right? But there's more. If you're using a bow or a crossbow, they gain 50% increase in projectile speed, which doesn't sound that great to be honest, but also you get a whopping 25% increased chance and that is huge. I can definitely see this used in some insane one-shot crit bow builds when paired with the right weapon and the gear setup. But wait, there is more. Increase fire rate by 20%, so remember that shotgun we were talking about before, now unloads its clip even faster. 35% faster than normal actually, 20% from this skill alone, plus 15% from Swift Shot, your very first perk, which I still cannot pronounce properly. It seems its cooldown is slightly longer than the other two, but it's still pretty manageable for such a strong skill. It also gives 50% reload speed. This is the ultimate weapon of the Gunslinger, and I'll tell you why. On top of everything we just mentioned about this skill, now think about activating it simultaneously with Sidewinder. This is why I said before that I wouldn't use that skill on its own. You pair these two, equip a shotgun and something like the hunting pistol, strongest raw damage weapon from the first game, you activate both skill, and now you have in your hands two literal monsters that unload 35% faster than normal, are fully automatic, with infinite ammo, and have a plus 100% reload speed, which you won't use because all you need to do is swap to the other one to find it fully loaded and ready to go. Oh, and the swap speed is also 50% faster, to literally just blast away anything. Oh, I can't wait to try this guy. And finally, the Gunslinger exclusive trait is Ammo Reserves, that at level 10 effectively doubles the amount of spare ammunition you can carry per weapon, staying true with the idea that the Gunslinger will never truly run out of bullets. Ladies and gentlemen, this covers everything we know so far on the Gunslinger. I hope that I gave you enough information in order for you to decide if the standard edition of the game is worth pre-ordering or not. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on the Gunslinger and if you want me to break down any other class for you. Remnant 2 is definitely shaping out to be an absolutely fantastic experience, and I can't wait to jump in and start shooting. If you're new to the channel or found out about this game for the first time, don't forget to check out my fully comprehensive video on everything we know so far about Remnant 2. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Ocan's out. Swift Shot! Yes! Yes! I said it!